Hello, hello, beautiful beings of light. It is Mandy. Happy Tuesday. Happy International Women's Day to all my beautiful soul sisters. Mwah. Sending you guys so much love, super positive, high vibes, healing energy. That's to everyone, not just my beautiful soul sisters, but especially my beautiful soul sisters. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to jump on. Once you tune in, comment below, say hi. If you're catching the replay, then hashtag replay below. I always like to see who's watching my videos. I know it's late. It's already like 9:08, you guys. I was eating dinner, and then I was catching up with some clients, doing some audios and some different things. So I'm just now able to jump on here, and I'm super enthusiastic to share with you guys. Hey, what's up, Jarvis, my friend? How are you? I'm super enthusiastic to share with you guys tonight. Also want to make a really quick announcement that my program, my newest program, Me Versus Me, I was going to start it yesterday, but it did not feel in alignment to start it yesterday. And I'm actually opening up a couple of more spots as well. I felt into it. I'm like, okay, so I'm opening up a couple more spots, and we're actually going to start this coming Monday, March the 14th. So the program's called Me Versus Me. It's all about you identifying where you're at in your own life, in every area of your life. And then, of course, you're going to have my one-on-one support as well. But it is a group coaching program. I'll have everyone in a closed Facebook group. It's going to be really amazing. I'm super excited about it. So if it feels like something that resonates with you, and what that means is intuitively, like it feels good, it feels like a yes, or if you have some curiosity behind it, feel free to comment below this video or send me a PM and let's chat. And then I'll tell you all about the video, or all about the video. Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable in my car. I'll tell you all about the program and what all it entails. And then we'll see if it's a good fit. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. What's up, Jarvis? Elizabeth, how are you, my beautiful soul sister? What's up, Chris? How are you? So tonight I'm going to be talking about manifesting 101. Okay, you guys know I'm super enthusiastic about manifesting. I call myself a master manifester. I use that hashtag on everything. I actually even have a course too that's called Manifest Magic. So if that sounds like something that resonates, let me know. I definitely have that course available to support people in having their awareness of how to manifest. So if you're not sure what manifesting is, it's basically using the law of attraction, using the law of detachment. There's so many different laws in the universe that we can't deny no matter what. It's kind of like there's the law of gravity. So if you were to go and, jump, off of a building, chances are you're not going to be flying. The law of gravity states that you will be hitting the ground. So whether we like it or not, or whether we acknowledge these laws or not, the laws are there. There's nothing that we can do about that. Okay. So, hey, what's up, Mary? How are you, beauty? Hey, Joseph, how are you? Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate you, my friend. So yeah, being in your awareness that no matter whether you're choosing to create something or not, if you're actually focusing on something, chances are you're going to be manifesting and creating that thing. So you may remember some times in your life when you were really focused on something specific that you didn't want, right? Like that's why they say that worrying is basically praying for what you don't want. So if you're constantly worrying about something and you constantly have fear that something is going to happen, or you're like, oh, that would be the worst thing in the world, or oh, I hope that doesn't happen, or yeah, like whatever that looks like, and whatever your way that you're focusing on it, chances are you're going to be somehow or another putting some energy into actually creating that outcome. So I definitely invite you to be aware of your thoughts and be aware of what you're focusing on, because that is very, very important. We are very powerful beings. We are extensions of God, source, creator, universe. We are eternal spiritual beings and souls here having human physical experiences. So chances are, if you're focusing on something very powerfully, whether it's something that you desire or something that you do not desire, that you're focusing on it really, really intently, chances are you're going to have some version of that show up in your life. And sometimes it may not show up in your life, but it may show up in someone's life that's really close to you. It's really interesting, but if you start playing, with the laws of the universe, and you start using, I would say, some examples, or what is the word? I'm choosing to know how I can explain this better. Like trial and error, not even trial and error, but okay, let me just back up. So in the past, I had a group of people in a program of mine, and I was talking about manifesting and like how you do it and what it is. And so this is maybe something that you'll choose to, an experiment. That's the word I was looking for. I got distracted. Hey, Mary, how are you, beautiful? So you can potentially try this experiment for yourself. Okay. Pick something right now, like one thing that you are choosing to focus on. And I guarantee you that it'll show up in your world within the next 72 hours. Okay. I even have videos on my YouTube channel from a long time ago when I had a certain scenario happen and I had focused on a beach ball. And then I'm like, I don't know where I'll see a beach ball. But the thing is you let go of any kind of resistance of not seeing or manifesting or attracting that thing into your life. And within the 72 hours, I was leaving my house and I was at the stop sign and I turned left and I had my dog, who now has transitioned, may she rest in power. I had my beautiful baby Pixie, my Boston Terrier Pixie, in my passenger seat. And it was to the point where she was getting a lot older in her age, and so she never wanted to sit in my lap anymore. And so she was in the passenger seat, and I remember I had my hand on her. She didn't want to sit down or lay down, so she was standing, and I was just going up the street. I choose to remember I was going up the street to get something and come back. I wasn't going to be gone long. And but like I'm saying, my dog was up there in age, and so used to, she would sit in my lap, or she'd want to hang out the window or whatever. And I just remember thinking oh no, maybe I shouldn't have brought her with me. And so I was being really cautious, and I was leaned up and I was holding her at the same time, and I was turning and I looked over, and I kid you not, in the ditch or the culvert area right there on the other street that I turned onto, there was a freaking beach ball, and it was a little blow up beach ball. I actually have it in my trunk. So if you followed my journey from when I moved from College Station to Florida at the end of 2016, you probably know this story and you probably remember. And I wasn't even focusing on a beach ball because I was moving to Florida, but at the same time, it all kind of goes hand in hand because I love the beach. And so it was just that I had picked that I would see a beach ball within 72 hours. And sure enough, so random, but I found a beach ball, and I'm assuming it probably came from these people's house that was backed up to the road right there, and they had a big wooden fence around it. So I'm probably some kids or somebody were out there, playing with the beach ball, and it somehow went over the fence into the ditch, and then they either never went to go get it or they couldn't find it. So I jumped out of my car, I got the beach ball, and I had the beach ball with me, and even when I moved to Florida, I had the beach ball in a lot of my videos and pictures and stuff. Is really interesting. So I invite you to test your own power by finding something or thinking of something right now, not finding, cancel, thinking of something right now that you're choosing to focus on, that you're choosing to quote unquote manifest into your reality within the next 72 hours. Okay. Now, the other part of this is that you get to not have any resistance at all, that there's potential for you to manifest this thing. Because if you have resistance, then it's not going to happen for you. And when I did this little experiment in my group coaching program, this was years ago, that everyone picked 3 things and everyone found, or their 3 things came into their reality within the 72 hours. And when I did that one time, I said a yellow Corvette, a purple bird, and a pink dress. And for me, it happens really, really quickly. And so I think it was all within probably 24 hours that I manifested all of those things. And of course, the experiment, you had to take a picture of it and post it in the group. If anyone either watches this video later, because I don't think anyone's on here now, but if you watch this video later and you were in that group, comment below or give some thumbs up and hearts, because it was really freaking cool. So I saw I saw the yellow Corvette, of course. I took a picture of it and I was yeah, yellow Corvette. It was somebody was getting gas at the gas station. And then for the purple bird, I actually went into the store with my mom because she was looking for something specific, and it was a wind chime or something, or no, maybe it wasn't even a wind chime, but it was some kind of thing that you hang up, and it was made out of tin, maybe it was made out of tin, I'm pretty sure, but it was painted this really bright purple, and it was of birds. And so of course I took a picture of it, and then a little bit after that, I saw on Facebook a friend of mine who had just posted a picture with their daughter in this really pretty elaborate pink dress. And so I was okay, there's my 3 things within the 72 hours. And obviously for me, it happened way faster than that. So it really kind of depends on where you're at in terms of your, I would say, yes, your ability to manifest, but also too in believing in your power to be able to manifest, and also to not having any resistance of the things that you're choosing to manifest, right? One of the other things that they say is that it's no different between choosing to manifest a button or a castle. That's an example that they use a lot. But in other words, it's no difference between, manifesting a free cup of coffee or manifesting $500, right? But chances are is that a lot of times people will have more resistance to manifesting certain things, and so they never manifest them, because someone would say, well, I don't know where I'd ever get $500, or where's $500 going to come from, or chances are I'm not going to have anyone give me $500, or I'm not going to find $500, or I'm not going to receive a check in the mail. And so they have resistance to it. So I invite you to be aware of what you're choosing to create and manifest, and what is potentially not showing up for you, and then feeling into why it's not showing up based on your limited beliefs, your stories, and your resistance to feeling like it could show up. Hey, Carrie, how are you, gorgeous? Hey, Dave, thanks for tuning in. So I'm super passionate about teaching about manifesting. That's why my hashtag is Master Manifester. And it's a really powerful, part of like all of my programs and all of my coaching, but also in my own life. Okay. So I invite you guys to be very aware and considerate of the things that you're choosing to focus on, because remember, whatever we focus on is always going to expand. So I'm going to take this video into like another little part and then I'm going to jump off here. But something else I want to talk to you guys about is if you're trying to make a huge leap from, let's say, 0 to 100, and say you're here and you're choosing to see yourself or manifest. Whoa, what's up, eyelash? I guess that got attached to my hair. How interesting. Oh, that's so funny. Hey, thank you so much, Carrie. Yeah, this might be really in alignment for you right now, sister. Of course it is. That's why you're here. So, and yeah, in case you guys didn't know, my eyelashes are not real. How freaking funny is that? I was actually just messing with them a little bit ago, so that's probably why it was kind of loose. I get them filled about every 2 weeks, and my appointment's next week. So whatever, we're going to let that be okay with the eyelash. And that's translatable, by the way, but I'm not going to break it down and translate it in this video. That's stuff that I do in my programs and my one-on-one coaching, though, is I teach all about that, like how to translate things, because everything is energy and everything in our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. So that's why I'm giggling. Okay, so back to what I was saying. If you're trying to make a huge jump, let's say from here into way over here, and maybe you have massive resistance because you're like, I don't believe it, there's no way that it's possible, then I invite you to begin to just contemplate on the fact that it very well could be possible for you, okay? Because a lot of times, I just had someone message me. A lot of times, if you are feeling that it's not possible and you have so much resistance against it and you're like, there's just no way, well, then chances are it is not going to show up for you. And you potentially will continue to self-sabotage as you're choosing to manifest and create whatever it is, because you simply do not believe that it's possible. Or maybe you think, this is like bother me, like so weird, like when people are jumping on, it's putting it like right over my face. And maybe, you have so much resistance against it that you don't believe that it's possible, and you continue to self-sabotage yourself. So one thing that tends to happen is that our subconscious mind, which is where all of our programs are, right? From when we were very young kids, unfortunately, we were programmed. Every single human being was programmed in whatever way based on, your environment, your caretakers, what you're subjected to, because that's just how it works. When we're aged like 0 to 7, we're like little sponges and we literally absorb everything. So a lot of times people have these limited beliefs. They have notification for a child abduction in Burnett, Texas. I'm sure a lot of you guys got that as well. Okay, so back to what I was saying. I apologize, you guys. So if where was that? That totally distracted me. So self-sabotaging. We are like little sponges, okay? And we, as little kids, we literally were absorbing everything in our environment. I use this example a lot. So say you were a little kid, you were at home, you were playing with your toys, you're watching TV, you're being, on your best behavior. Mom and dad get home, or dad gets home, whoever, and you're all happy and excited, and then they say, get your toys and go to your room. Well, now as grown-up adults, we can actually relate to a lot of what our parents were growing through as we were growing up, right? Because we're seeing like, okay, because as little kids, we don't have a lot of responsibility, we don't have a lot of resistance, and that's a lot of times too, when we're little kids like that, we're super happy, we have tons of energy, we don't have very much resistance, we have tons of enthusiasm, we're just full of it. We're full of energy. We're full of life. We're excited about the next adventure. But as we get older, as we know, a lot of times we begin to focus on reality. And I do believe that as a person also continues to get older, that sometimes when life continues to knock a person down, give me some thumbs up and hearts if this relates to you guys, or if this is resonating. Comment below. Carrie, if you're still on here. Hey, Christina, how are you, gorgeous? Hey, Robert, how are you, my friend? But the reality is that, as we continue to age, of course, sometimes life continues to happen. And so people then get to a place where they're just like, you know what? Like, I just don't believe that's even possible. I don't even believe that can even happen for me. And then, like I said, once you really start filling into it and going back to it, most of the time it is having something to do with limited beliefs and the stories and things that were created when we were very, very young, when we didn't have the intellectual capacity to understand all of these things. And so now when we're grown up and we're in our adult life and we're desiring something specific and we're wondering like why we're having so much of a challenge manifesting it or having it in our life, chances are it has something to do with, a limited behavioral pattern, limited thinking, limited beliefs, some kind of story that you're telling yourself that you're not worthy, that you don't deserve it. And so what I want to propose to you is, instead of feeling like you have to, and I start yelling, I apologize, let me take a drink. Instead of feeling like you have to jump all the way from A to Z, potentially you can just use the law of assumption, and you can start focusing on not assumption. Sorry, hang on, I got distracted. You can just use the law of like contemplation, and you can start contemplating, like, what if this is possible? What if I could create this? What if this is potential for me? What if this could happen? Okay. And then you literally will begin to release the resistance of creating that or manifesting that certain thing. Let me say, for example, this. Okay. And I know I use the weight thing a lot, but it's so common, and I get so many people, messaging me and asking me about it, because I've been a trainer for 16 years. I'm a yoga instructor, nutritionist. I'm all these things. I used to do fitness competitions. I'm really passionate about working out and being healthy. So I'm going to use the example of most people in the past, have had a lot of the challenges with like the last 10 pounds, but I'm going to go even bigger than that. Like, say a person has like 30 pounds to lose, and say their focus has been so hard on cancel on lose. I've talked about this in other videos. I prefer to use the word release, because anytime we lose something, we will subconsciously be looking for that thing. So if you're saying like, I want to lose weight, well, chances are you're not going to lose it, right? Or you might release it, but chances are it's going to come back on, and sometimes it's going to pack back on even more than it was to begin with. So our words are very powerful, okay? A lot of times when I start doing videos, I go on so many different tangents that I'm like, that requires a video in itself, right? Clearly. But I just want to caution you that when you're choosing to release body fat, that you actually use the word release instead of lose, okay? So say a person is choosing to release body fat, and say it's like, 30 pounds or something like that, and potentially they've grown throughout their life, and they've had challenges maybe with their weight up and down, or whatever that might look like, and maybe they release a little bit, and then somehow or another they self-sabotage, and they fall back into their old behavioral patterns and their negative thinking, and then the weight creeps back up. Okay, so I invite you, my friends, for whatever this might look like in your life, and then I'm going to sum this video out. Thank you guys so much for being on here, though. Hey, what's up, Mackie? How are you? Hey, Chip. So it could be your finances. It could be in your love life. It could have to do with your career. It may be that, you're desiring a new vehicle. It might have to do with your health. It could have to do with so many different things. So the point I'm trying to make here is, if you're trying to jump from like A to Z, and it might literally feel impossible for you, and maybe you're tired, and maybe you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and maybe mentally you're just worn out, and maybe you're just over it, and maybe you have, apathy around it, and you're just done with trying to think like super positive, and you're maybe just done with trying to, affirm so hardcore, that it has to be this way from A to Z. Maybe that's too big of a jump for you, and maybe, even though you're saying these things and you're choosing to affirm something because you're really desiring to create something specific, maybe your subconscious mind has so much resistance to it because it's been something potentially that's been occurring for so long in your life that you're just like, dude, you're like, I'm just over it. Okay. So I invite you to try this. Okay. This is another way to manifest. So instead of going from A to Z, in an area that maybe you've been having challenges with for a long time. This is crucial, you guys. Give me some thumbs up and hearts if you're still on here, because this is like some really cool stuff and important stuff that I feel will really support people in shifting. What's all this hair? Lion King, Simba. When I was growing up, my friend's mom she would like babysitted kids in her house, and she had this little girl that she used to babysit. I'll never forget. And that little girl, when she would see me, she'd go, Simba, because of my hair. It was so funny. But back in the days when I was growing up, I didn't know how to fix my hair. And even right now, it's a little bit fro-y because I haven't put much product on it. But when I was younger, I definitely didn't know how to fix my natural curly hair. And I actually used to brush it, so it'd be kind of big, kind of funny. Thank you so much for the love, Robert. So anyway, back to what I was saying, you guys, is maybe taking the huge jump from A to Z might work on some things, right? Maybe in some areas of your life, when you manifest with effort, when you manifest with ease and it doesn't take very much effort, then keep going by all means, okay? And the ways to manifest is that we put ourselves in the emotional state and we're already grateful for it before it even occurs. So using your 5 senses of taste, touch, smell, see, and hear, okay? So now that it's already happened, now that you've already manifested that miracle, now that you're in the already done, it's like, how do you feel feel now? What are you seeing? What are you tasting? What are you touching? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Okay. A perfect example would be if you have a dream car. What would it be like if you were sitting in your dream car or you were driving your dream car? What would you be listening to? What would you be smelling? What would you be hearing? What would you be feeling? You know, what would the scenery look like? I use this example a lot because I feel that it's like a tangible example. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone has a dream car. So you can put yourself in the feeling place of like already done that now that you already have your dream car. So to manifest, it takes emotion, it takes energy, it takes being in the already done state as if it's already here, right? And then you're here and you're lining up the reality that's already out there, that already exists, because there's already so many potential realities. And energy is never created or never destroyed. It's out there and it is. So if you can stop right now and feel that whatever it is you're desiring is already out there, you just get to line up with it. To me, that is so powerful. It's like, I don't really require, doing all the things, because I'm going to leave that to God. I already know that potentiality is out there and it already exists because I have the desire in my heart. And so all I get to do now is I get to release resistance and I get to line up with it. And therefore I'm going to be shown, following my own intuition, which is our internal GPS, our God-given, GPS system, following our intuition as a roadmap to get to whatever that is. Okay. And releasing the resistance and continuing to release the resistance moment to moment to moment if you require, because sometimes it's not easy. I heard this saying the other day too, where it's talking about don't let your bank account dictate your thoughts. Okay. Actually let your thoughts dictate your bank account. And I love that saying. So it's like, if you look at your checking account balance and then that's going to cause you to have thoughts of lack, fear, limitation, never enough, maybe you would feel stuck. You don't feel free. You don't feel like you can have the things you desire. You don't feel like you can go where you choose to go. You don't feel like you can, manifest, create, take a vacation, and you feel stuck. So therefore, actually your thoughts are creating your bank account, and you can choose to switch that, and you can allow, I said it backwards. You're allowing your bank account to dictate your thoughts. Or you can reverse that and switch it into, now that you are thinking in a certain kind of way, your bank account then begins to grow and your bank account begins to reflect back of your thinking. Okay. So some people do it in more of a religious practice, tithing at church, praying about it, whatever that looks like, energetically though, shifting in whatever way that looks. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm not telling you how to do it, and whatever way that resonates with you, because we're all different, individual humans, and we have different beliefs. We come from different backgrounds. We have different things that feel important to us. So really focusing on, feeling abundant and having all of your needs already supplied by God. I even use the phrase a lot, God is my sugar daddy. And that's something I even teach my clients and we giggle about, that, my abundance comes from God. Okay. God, source, creator, universe, infinite intelligence, whatever word you want to give it. But my abundance is coming from God through my clients. Okay. Or whatever way the money's coming to me, but it's coming from God. God is the source. Okay. So I know now I've gone off on a whole nother, point here, which is not what I was trying to do, but I'm giving you guys the example. So remember this phrase, let your bank account be reflective of your thoughts, meaning that you're having very positive thoughts and very uplifting thoughts, very high vibrational, high frequency thoughts. And then your bank account will begin to reflect that, and not the other way around, not allowing your bank account to reflect your thought, or not allowing your bank account to control your thoughts. Okay. So back to what I was saying a second ago, is that some people in certain areas of their life are able to manifest very easily, very effortlessly, because it's very easy for them in that way. And I could use examples, but I'm going to try to cut this video kind of short. But if you have an area of your life where it's really easy for you to manifest and create, then by all means keep doing what you're doing in that area. And if you have an area of your life where potentially you're desiring an outcome, and maybe you've had challenges with it for so long, and that was why I brought up the financial thing, is that maybe it's your finances, and maybe it's like no matter what, you might get a little extra money and then something comes up and then you require investing your money or whatever, and then you're back to square one and you're like, you're just living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you're constantly in fear about, where are you going to get the resources for whatever it is that you require. I invite you to begin to, instead of trying to jump all the way from A to Z, is just go a little bit halfway and just become in a place of what if, what if this, what if that, to where you're more in a place of assumption versus creating so much resistance. And I was using release and body fat as an example. So maybe instead of saying, desire to release 30 pounds of body fat, or, you know, I am going to release 30 pounds of body fat. And maybe you're affirming and decreeing so hardcore, and you're trying to get in alignment with it energetically and emotionally, right? Your head and your heart. So you're trying so hard to get in alignment with it. And then maybe you're, you know, taste, touch, smell, see, hear, now that I've released, you know, the 30 pounds of body fat. But the chances are, if it's been something you've had challenges with for so long, and even saying like that you've already done it, and you're having to force that I am, that right there goes to show you, my friend, that you have massive resistance there. So potentially, instead of maybe focusing on it being 30 pounds, maybe you just start small increments like 5 pounds, okay? And maybe you just let that be your focus. And then I'm gonna shift it, and let's use the example of, you know, maybe you desire to have, you know, a romantic partner, or you desire to have like a romantic relationship, and you're choosing to manifest a beautiful, wonderful, conscious partner into your life, right? But then maybe you have this belief that you're not worthy. And so anytime someone comes into your reality, that you potentially self-sabotage it, or maybe you actually try to protect yourself. So instead of opening up your heart and being vulnerable, or maybe you don't even go out on any dates at all, or maybe you don't even entertain the idea, well, it's like, how are you going to get that end result? So maybe if you choose just to release the resistance in a bigger scale and just go smaller increments, that would be another way to support you in manifesting your desires. And I trust that makes sense, because I literally have talked about so many things in this video that I was not planning on talking about, and I was using all kinds of examples and going down different little pathways there, but I always trust, you know, flow. And I follow whatever comes through that I require sharing with you guys. So, hey, Sarah, how are you, beautiful? Thanks for tuning in. So I trust this resonated. So this was like a little manifesting one-on-one, or what I say, one-on-one. Goodness gracious, I require getting off of here. I've invested a lot of energy today supporting a lot of people. So that's why even right now, it's like I'm having challenges, like really being in alignment with this, because my energy, I've literally overexpended, I believe. So I'm sending you guys so much love, super positive, high vibes, healing energy. Thank you so much, Robert, for all your love and support. I appreciate you, my friend. Go back and watch this video from the beginning. If you didn't watch it from the beginning, you know, feel free to share this video to your timeline, comment below, tag people, however you choose. Also, if you require support, feel free to reach out, comment below this video, or send me a PM. And once again, if you missed it, my brand new coaching program, it's a group coaching program, but it has a huge one-on-one component. It's called Me Versus Me. And I've postponed it until this coming Monday, March the 14th. So if you're requiring support, it would be ideal to jump in on this one. It'll be run like live. And then you will also, like I said, get one-on-one support. So I'm super enthusiastic about it. If it resonates and it feels like something that you're choosing to learn more about, send me a message and allow me to let you know how I can support you. So I'm sending you guys so much love, super positive, high vibes, healing energy. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Mwah. Have an amazing night, and I look forward to chatting with you guys on the next video. Bye.